Alright, so we're going to move along now to a little arpeggio study which I've created for you, which is all based on sus chords, suspended chords, specifically suspended 2 chords, and it has a fantastic fluid sound to it. So what I'm going to do on this occasion is just perform it to you, and then we'll explain afterwards, because it's a little bit complex. Alright, so let's have a listen, a little sus arpeggio study. Hope you enjoy. Alright, and there you have it. Alright, let's proceed to teach you exactly what this thing is. So before we start, we need to know what the actual chords are we're playing. And these are the chords we're going to play. We have this chord, which is E sus2, and then moving down to D sus2, and then down to C sus2, back to D sus2, and then finally returning to E sus2 at the end. So all we're going to do is play arpeggios of each chord, right? Sus arpeggios for each chord. So as you can probably tell from looking at the performance, it's the same shape for each arpeggio, and all we're doing is moving it around. So if you regard it as being almost like a fixed chord shape, it might actually not be as hard to do as all that, right? So let's proceed to demonstrate to you the first arpeggio, and we'll go over the fingering as well, alright? So let's listen to the first arp, which is E sus2. Let's have a listen. Alrighty, so I'll give you the fingering note by note. First finger is on D14, second finger G16, third finger is on B17, first finger high E14, and then the pinky on high E19, and then back to 14, and then 17 on your B, 16 on your G, and 14 on your D. Okay, so play this very slowly for you. Let's listen. I love the angular sound this arpeggio has. It's also ambiguous because it doesn't contain a third, so would fit actually a major or minor situation. Sounds very good. What we're going to do now is we're going to move the arpeggio down a tone. So it's exactly the same arpeggio, and the fingering is the same, except everything is 2 frets lower. So let's listen. Okay, so that's the D sus2 arp, and then moving it down yet again, another tone, we're going to get a C sus2 arp. Alright, and then returning back to D sus, play that one, and then finally back to E sus at the end. Alright, now the way that I actually played it was 2 bars worth of the E sus arpeggio, and 2 bars worth of the D sus arpeggio, and then C sus for 1 bar, D sus for 1 bar, and back to the E sus for the remaining 2 bars, and that is the exercise. Alright, so this one, the finger that is the hardest to articulate is the third finger. One of the interesting things about your left hand is that if you do use all 4 digits, it's not your 4th finger that's the weakest. Many people assume it is this digit that is poor and doesn't want to cooperate, but actually if you use all 4 digits, it's your 3rd finger which is the worst. So this is the one that really needs the practice to get the hammer on, especially when it's a hammer on from nothing, from nowhere, to be able to play clearly. So this is always the problem in the left hand, certainly in my left hand. 3rd finger needs to be strengthened constantly. So this is a great arpeggio for working on that, and I hope you find it useful. So we're going to play it for you one final time, just to give you another oral reference, and I hope you enjoy learning this little arpeggio study. Alright, so let's listen one final time. Alrighty, thank you very much. We're going to crack on and do the next exercise now. Alright, let's proceed to show you this next idea, which is a fairly whittlesome descending E minor run, which goes right down across the guitar. Loads of fun to play. It's based on our easier left hand shape of tone, semitone, tone, so it shouldn't be too difficult. However, there is a lot of downwards lateral movement, so you have to watch that. Once again, I'm going to demonstrate this with a little bit of backing, and then we'll proceed to break it down for you and show you exactly what it is. Alright, so enjoy our little E minor run, fairly mental. Let's have a listen. And there we have it, so let's show you exactly what that is. Okay, so now this exercise, this run, is really based on a series of fragments which are fundamentally all the same. So let me play you the first fragment and I'll explain it a little bit. Here is the first fragment. And the run is just constructed of this fragment repeating down on different strings. Alright, so let's get into the first fragment. We've got E17, 15, 14, 12, 14, 15, 17, 15, 14, 12, which is in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 notes. So I'm squashing in 10 notes into the space of one beat. So this would be called a group of 10 or a decouplet sometimes. So the whole run is a line of decouplets. So I'm artificially squashing the values into time, forcing it into time. But it produces a really nice roll to the lick, an interesting roll, and just sounds monstrously quick. So that's the first fragment. All we need to do now is move the fragment down, same fingering in order, starting on fret number 15 of the B, alright? And it's the same thing. We've got 15, 13, 12, 10, 12, 13, 15, 13, 12, 10. So that's our second fragment. Sounds like. And then we move it again down onto the G string. And we've got 14, 12, 11, 9, 11, 12. Same fragment again. Moving it yet again onto the D string. This time we've got 12, 10, 9, 7, 9, 10. Sounds like this one. Alright, get the idea? Move it across the A string, stay in the same position now. 12, 10, 9, 7, 9, 10. Sounds like this one. And then, big monster one at the end. We've got 10, 8, 7, 5, 7, 8. This one. That's a hard one. And then finally at the end, pulling off to the open E. Technical difficulties to be aware of here. When you're pulling off on the treble strings, it's not too bad. But you'll find as you get towards the basses, the left hand has got a tendency to want to drag the strings down towards the floor. And of course this will start pulling the notes out of tune, for instance. You hear guys who are, just learning to do pull-offs, hammer-ons and pull-offs, they sound like that all the time. They distort the pitch, so be very careful you don't do that. What you can do is leave your index finger quite firmly anchored on the string to help stop the pitch of the note distorting. Have a listen. So you can see I'm not really lifting my index finger off that much, and it's helping to keep the string stable and in place. Alright, so that is the run. Let me play you the whole run slowly, and then we'll put it together one more time with a track. Alright, so let's have a listen. And then one time, without the backtrack this time, I'll just demo you the run. Let's have a listen. Motorhead. Awesome. Right, well that concludes that one. We've got one more to go now. So let's do it. Okay, here we are at the very last example, which is a fairly nonsensical and bonkers sounding whole tone exercise. Got to say, it has fairly dubious musical value, but it does look and sound fairly monstrous, so that's why I'm including it. It's a great exercise for developing the span and also strengthening all 4 digits. So it does have some technical value. As I say, musical value, not so much. Anyway, let's proceed to play it and see what you make of it. Here we go. That sounds mental. Let's try that again for giggles. Well, good luck for finding a musical use for that one, but it's tremendously good fun to play. So let's show you exactly what's going on there and how to play it. Alright, let's show you exactly what's going on in this crazy whole tone idea. So again, it's really based on a sequence, and the sequence consists of a short descending and ascending fragment which I'll play to you. Alright, let's have a listen. I'm just picking everything here just for clarity so you can hear exactly what I'm playing. So we're going to go down 3 strings with our mad whole tone shape, and then go back up immediately until we reach B14 with the 3rd finger. So that's one fragment. So one fragment sounds like, which I know sounds fairly crazy. Once that fragment is completed, you just start the whole thing again, but this time on the B string. So that is 3 strings down and then 1 string back up, and then again. Okay, and then one final time. And that's the descending part. Then when we do the ascending part, everything's just reversed. So we go 3 strings up, 1 string back, and then 3 strings up, 1 string back, 3 strings up, 1 string back, 3 strings up. And that's the end of the exercise. Now, this is all given to you in tablature at the very end of the short video, so what I suggest you do is look at the tab very carefully, but once you grasp the fact it's really just the descending and ascending sequence, it really shouldn't be that hard to learn, so I'm not going to explain it in any more detail than that. So just have at it and see if you can do it, and I'll play it one final time, and then for this little web lesson that'll be it. So let's give it one final go. Alright, well that concludes this little web lesson, which is all about legato, extreme legato. And don't forget to check out my website, which is www.roundjparker.com, coming very shortly. And I've got tons of stuff up on YouTube as well, my YouTube channel Round J Parker, so have a look at that as well. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, informative, useful, and you've got some pretty ripping chops, man. Alright, that was very cool. Thank you very much. I've been Round J Parker. Goodbye.